In this video, I want to show you how you can set up your YouTube studio anywhere, super fast and easy. Now, if you want to be a creator here on the platform, one of the biggest things is being consistent with your content, and having a space that's dedicated to where you work, where you film, is just going to make that process easier. So I've always had a space in my home that is my YouTube studio. Right now, I'm in a new space, and I just set this up. And I'm only using a few things to get the look that I have and to be this place where I can sit down, hit record, and just make my videos. Now, I have a buddy who wants to start his YouTube channel, and the first thing he asked me is, well, how do I even start? How do I even set up the camera and start shooting? And so this video is gonna be your guide to be able to just turn on the camera, start recording, and make sure that you have a look that you're happy with, that's gonna reflect your brand, and also just be a good place to sit down, hit record, and make some content. And if you're gonna be doing this outside on the go, well, I have another video that's dedicated to shooting outdoor adventure style videos and being able to shoot this kind of content when you're outside. And I'll link to that at the end of this video and also down below in the description. Now, there's a few key elements to being able to build your YouTube studio. You obviously need your camera. That's what you're gonna be filming on. You're gonna need audio. You're gonna need to think about lighting. And also, you're gonna need to think about the look. So what's behind you? What's in the shot? What visually represents the kind of content that you're producing? Because that has a big impact on what you're going to film and what you're going to set up. Now, with this setup, you could either set up the camera, audio, lighting every time you need to record, or you could just have this all set up so that every time you need to make a video, you just flip on the camera and hit record. There's not a right or wrong way to do it, and I've done both styles. In my previous studio, I had everything rigged up where I just flipped on my lighting, I hit record, and I could start recording. In this space here, the way that I have to operate is now I have to set up my camera again, set up my audio, and potentially set up lighting. And so you could see over there is the door. So I can't just keep the camera there at all times anymore. And you could see me there in the reflection. My audio is coming from above. My camera's over there. My light source is actually this window at the moment. And then my background is computer, some outdoors, and I just have a few things I've put on the walls. You don't have to go super crazy with your filming space, and it doesn't take a whole lot of gear. So let's first talk about the main thing, which is your background. You think it would be camera, audio, lighting, all that, but I think the background is one of the most important things when you're coming up with your design for your YouTube space. So for me, I do a lot of videos here on this channel about teaching filmmaking, how to be a creator, all of that style of content. And so for my background, I have my computer with right now, it's on Final Cut because I'm editing a project. And then I have my million YouTube plaque up there because I talk about YouTube often on this channel. And then over here, it's just a window. Kind of has a jungly vibe outside, so I thought that would look good for this setup. I don't have to overly complicate it. Now, if you're in a space where you have complete control and you don't have things like a window, well, you could put different stuff up on the walls. So you could use things like pictures, or you could use like a shelf, put different things on the shelf that represent your brand. But ideally, when you're creating your background, you want to have some separation between where you're filming and what's behind you. So right now I'm sitting in the middle of the room. So if you look over here, you can see my desk. I've just have this portable desk, which makes it super easy for me to set up this space, but I'm here, and then there's some separation between the background. This isn't an overly big space that I have to film in, but I've set myself in the middle, and I've put my camera over there against that wall. Now, the lens that I'm using is a 35mm 1.4. And the reason that I'm using this style of lens is to create the separation with the blurry background. Oftentimes when you're doing these talking head style videos and you're just talking to camera, it's good to throw the background a little bit out of focus. Personally, I like this look of the 1.4. It creates a lot of separation, and it just makes me, as the person talking on camera, really stand out from the background. Now, if you're closer to the background, you're not going to get as much separation. Or if you're using a lens, say shooting at a 2.8, f4, or higher than that, well, you're not going to get as much separation. This is all going to be in focus. And so one of the things you want to think about is, do you want to have separation from your background to your foreground? It often looks more cinematic when you have this separation and you have this super blurry background, but it's also dependent on the lens choice that you're using. So if you're using just something like a kit lens with your camera, well, you're not going to be able to get the super blurry background because those often don't open up past an f4, which will give you some separation, but not what you're seeing right now. So if you want that super blurry background, you're going to want to have a lens that shoots at an f2.8 or something like an f1.4. And these are often prime lenses that give you that separation. Now, in terms of focal length, this is at a 16 millimeter. So you could see how wide this shot is. You can see more of the office. It's more of this immersive feel, kind of this vlogger feel. Whereas over here, I'm shooting on a 35, which gives me more compression. It has more cinematic qualities to it. So deciding on the focal length is going to be a big part of this YouTube studio. Do you want this super wide look? Something like this. Like, do you want it super wide? Do you want that vlogger feel? Do you want that kind of more immersive where we're sitting here together talking to each other? Or do you want something that has more of that filmic quality, something that has the longer lens feel? So you could shoot at like a 35, you could shoot at a 50 millimeter. But that's one of those choices that you're going to want to make. Oftentimes, shooting on a longer lens like this gives you a little bit more professional feel than, say, if you're shooting on a super wide lens, it feels more YouTuber-y, more, vlogger-y, however you want to say that. So that's just a conscious choice that you're going to want to make. Now, the next thing that you need to think about is audio. And I'd say when it comes to the technical side of camera, lights, audio is probably one of the most important things that you want to focus on when you're making videos on YouTube. Because if you have bad audio, people are going to click away. Whereas if you have good audio, there's more chance that people will stick around and watch longer, because audio is one of those things that subconsciously, when a viewer's watching, it's going to either give you that feeling of this video is professional or this video is very amateur. And so for my audio in the space, I have a microphone up and over as close to my mouth as possible so that I could get clean audio in this space. Now, unfortunately, I don't have any soundproofing on the ceiling. I don't have any soundproofing on the walls. All I have is some carpet, but it's not the best to get rid of the reverb in the space. Reverb is the echo that you'll hear. And so in this space, I could hear, just sitting here talking to you, there's a lot of reverb. Now I'm going to process this audio. I'm going to take it through a software called Aphonic, which is online, and it's going to clean up a lot of this audio. There's lots of good audio editing tools nowadays to be able to clean up your audio to make it sound more professional. But you can't take really garbage audio and make it sound really good. You could start with decent audio with the microphone placed where it is, where it's close to my mouth, and using one of these shotgun microphones overhead. I'm going to be getting some good audio in this space, but I'm still going to be hearing like reverb, and it's just not as good. And there's a hum over there from my computer. I'm going to take this audio, process it through this software called Aphonic. And so this is what the audio sounds like, not processed, just straight from camera. And then this is what the audio sounds like after I've sent it through Aphonic. So you just want to make sure that you focus on getting clean audio, whether it is a microphone overhead like this, so it's boomed up and over on an arm, or you could use a lavalier mic like a DJI Mic 2 or a Rode Wireless Pro, or you could have something like on your desk, like a podcast style microphone just sitting right here. Or if you're shooting on like a super wide lens, you could just use a shotgun microphone on top of your camera. And really what it comes down to is you want to have your microphone as close as possible to the source, and you don't want to have a ton of background noise going on. And then from there, you can clean up your audio using some different tools that are in your editing software or one of these AI processing services. Now, the next thing you need to think about is lighting. So I'm using all natural light right now. It just so happens that I have a big window right here, and it's at a good angle for me to use as my key light. And then I have this window back here, which brings in more ambience and lights up the background. So I'm able to use just the natural light. One of the easiest ways to start making videos is put yourself in a position with a window at around a 3/4 from your camera. So you can see over here, window, big source. It's a key source, and it's bringing light in this way and illuminating my face. Now, one of the things that you're going to want to think about is the directionality of your lighting. So if I'm facing the window head on, you're going to fill your face. So if you want that more beauty style lighting where everything's filled in, everything's bright, well, you'll want to have the camera more towards that light source that's illuminating your face. Whereas if you want something a little more filmic, a little more cinematic, well, you'd want the light source off to like a 45, edging towards the side. And that's going to give you a lot of contrast. So you can see on this side of my face, it's bright, and over here, it's dark. And I'm illuminating from my back over here. I'm getting a nice hair light behind me. So I have this more lighting style that you would see in like a film, a movie, or that style of filmmaking. It's not so bright and airy. Whereas over here, everything's bright. There's no right or wrong way. It all depends on the style of content that you're producing. And if you just want everything looking good, oftentimes you'll want the lighting source kind of right over camera. So it'd be right over there on top of camera, either side of camera, or at like a 45. If you want more cinematic lighting, you start at the 45 and kind of work your way around. Now, when it's darker in here, I'm going to use this light to do the same thing that this window is doing. This is just a 60-watt little aperture light, and I can control the exposure intensity. Now, I'll include links to all of the gear that I personally use down below the description so you can check out all of these. But it's essentially, this is just the Aperture 60X. And so what I would do is I would take this light, put it at a 45, and it's going to create the same look that you're seeing here. And then from there, I would light up the background. That way it just creates more of this texture, more of this background. And you could see from my previous studio, I was lit with the same Aperture 60X right here in the front. And in the background, I have a few different lights. I have 2 lights up in the ceiling that are the colors. And then I have the light coming from behind the door and also this bar light on the side. And those were creating more depth and more texture to the shot and illuminating the background. So it doesn't have to be super complicated to create a space to film in. I have my desk, a camera on a tripod, my audio on a stand with just a cable running to the camera, a single light source, something illuminating in the background, and then just the design of your background. So whatever you want to put back here that either looks good for the video that you're creating or connects to your brand in some way. And if you are a creator who's going to be going out and filming yourself when you're out in nature, well, I have another video that breaks down how you could go and film this style of content right here. And I have another video that goes through one of the shots that you need to get when you're filming as a solo creator. And you can check that out right here. I'll see you one of those videos.